Alright, so it's time for me to kind of do another little review for a couple seemingly oddball tools here. Excuse the Yamaha, it was a 50th anniversary motorcycle shirt. If you know me, you know I'm a big Honda fan. Had the old XL250 S back in the day. Learned to ride on an old Honda 1970 CB100. The Yamaha shirts with my bike I unfortunately got rid of last year after I wrecked it several years ago. My 79 XS 750 triple. Awesome bike, lots of power, shaft driven. That one hurts. So, what's this oddball tool? Well, I had two of them here, but my kids ransacked my desk. That's not an actual working phone, and these are not my dinosaur or, what is that, a set of play car keys. Anyways, what I have here looks a little odd. There's actually two of these that came in this kit. I think these were like $11. I don't read Japanese, so I'm not exactly sure what they say. But what this is actually a rust eraser. What these are actually sold for, from what I understand, they're rust erasers for sushi knives and cutlery, things like that. So apparently, from what I've been able to read, like in Asian cutlery, these are fairly common for keeping their knives free of rust. Usually better knives, have a higher carbon content, so they're a little bit more prone to rust. You have to make sure you keep, a little bit of oil wiped on them. These help with that. The one thing that I've really found these help with, obviously my shop, it's really not climate controlled, so I've actually been using these to take off very light rust off some of my hand planes that might just get a little bit of surface rust. One of my hatchets, I didn't realize it had been sitting somewhere. We'll go over that in a second, just how easily this thing actually takes that rust off. It does a really good job. It does come with a medium grit and a fine grit. They are abrasive, but it's basically an abrasive that's mixed with rubber, so it feels like an eraser. In fact, I don't know if I have anything with pencil here. I honestly don't know if it would erase pencil or not. But, so obviously, just like, work from coarse up to fine. So with a little bit heavier rust on something, you would want to go with that medium. If it's not really bad, that fine does a great job. And I think, it works a lot better than sandpaper. Get where we can see here. You can see that got stored. I didn't realize it was in a box, so I have that rust eraser. Get where we can see it. You can actually see it brightening up the metal. Now that's a little bit deeper rust. I will probably have to take a little bit of sandpaper to touch that up. But up towards the actual edge of this, again, that's actually not so much rust like I thought it was. That's a little bit of residue from the edge guard. Right there though, that is some rust. I'm going to take this rust eraser. And I'm making sure I don't go over that edge, because I've done some work to kind of get this into the shape I want it. And A, obviously I don't want to get cut. B, I don't want this abrasive to mess up my edge. Now back there, you can see that's a little bit more rusted. It's not super deep. It actually feels fairly smooth. I'm going to go over it a little bit with this medium grit eraser to see what I'm dealing with. If it's too much, I will just hit it real fast with just a little bit of sandpaper and then probably finish it off with this. You can see that polished that right off there. Now, the other thing that this is going to work great for, I do have a hand plane that got a little bit of surface rust. Let me see if I can find it here. Is this it? There it is. Okay. You can see it looks like just maybe some fingerprints from, you know, the oil from fingerprints touching it. Well, the oil left by fingers touching it, leaving fingerprints on it. That brightened that up really well. It might not get it completely out. I might have to touch it with just a little bit of sandpaper, some really fine sandpaper. But for, you know, $10, $11, I think I got these off Amazon. I'll have to check the actual name of these because, like I said, the packaging, I think it was in Japanese. I was able to find it because I think an importer in the U.S. had shipped these in and actually had the name of these, but the packaging didn't have any English on it, so I'll try to get the name of that underneath this video so you can check those out if you're interested.